ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Sahai, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Nationals in Egypt commemorated 64th anniversary of Baht Maskala. Training for preschool teachers in Gashbarka region. Pentagon warns Venezuela as two military aircrafts fly near U.S. warship. And Chinese president and Zimbabwean president announced upgrading their countries' relations. On our local report, Eritrean nationals residing in Egypt commemorated 64th anniversary of the beginning of armed struggle for Eritrean independence with patriotic zeal. At the commemorative event organized at the premises of the Eritrean Embassy in Cairo, Mr. Aman Abdelwasir, Counsel and Managing Director at the Eritrean Embassy, said that all conspiracies and hostiles waged to erase Eritrean nationality and identity have been foiled through the strong struggle and resilience of the people. At the event, veteran liberation fighters shared their experience for their armed struggle with the participants. The participants, on their part, expressed readiness to strengthen their participation in the national affairs. In the same vein, the Eritrean Community Festival in Toronto, Canada, which commenced on 30 August, concluded enthusiastically on 1st September. The festival featured seminars, sports competitions, a bazaar, as well as cultural and artistic programs. The annual festival of the Eritrean community in Western Canada also concluded, featuring various programs that reflects the strong attachment of nationals to their homeland. As part of the effort to ensure that schools-aged children have access to preschool education, training have been provided to over 900 preschool teachers in Gashbarka region. The training organized at the boarding school of Goni, Amalait, and Alordet, as well as the College of Hamel Malo, Mainafhi, and Adayeh. It was delivered in Tigray, Tigrinya, Arabic, Kunama, Nara, Bedouit, and Saho language. Mr. Yasin Mohammed, head of the Education Office in Gashbarka region, said that the objective of the training, which was organized in all the subzones of the region, was to ensure access to preschool education for all children, including those living in remote areas. Noting that the training was attended with strong interest by participants, Mr. Franco Kubaba, Director General of Social Service in the region, emphasized that the program was part of the government's effort to ensure social justice. He also called on the trainees to apply the knowledge they gained in practice. At the program conducted at the Goni boarding school, Ambassador Muhammad Ali Hori, Governor of the region, handed over a certificate of recognition to the trainees. Ambassador Mohammed noted that as part of the effort to expand preschool in the region, the number has increased from 155 to over 650. The trainee is part of the expressed readiness to contribute actively to the realization of the preschool program. In continuation to their yearly program, members of the Mechanized Command of 74 of the Eritrean Defense Forces voluntarily donated 147 units of blood between 21st August and 3rd September. The Promotion and Information Office in the command indicated that members are donating blood voluntarily with the aim of saving lives with their renewable blood. It is also expressed readiness to continue their program sustainably. The participants on their part expressed satisfaction in being part of the initiative and called on others to follow their noble example. Straight ahead is our international news after the short break. Welcome back. Two Venezuelan military aircraft flew near the United States Navy ship in the international water, the U.S. Department of Defense has said in a move described as highly provocative, aimed at escalating tensions between Washington and Caracas. The Defense Department warned Venezuela in a statement late on Thursday to cease further provocative moves, describing the Venezuelan aircraft buzzing over the U.S. vessel, reported to be the guided missile destroyer Jason Dunham, as the attempt to interfere with our counter-narco-terrorist operation. Today, two Maduro regime military aircraft flew near the U.S. vessel in the international waters, the Pentagon said in a post on X platform. Maduro has raised alarm for weeks over the U.S. naval deployment in the southern Caribbean, claiming the U.S. was seeking a regime change through military threat and promising that if attacks by Washington, he would mobilize the country and declare a republic in arms. On Tuesday, U.S. forces destroyed an alleged drug trafficking speedboat in an attempted airstrike in the Caribbean. Trump said the boat belonging to the criminal organization tied to Maduro, and the attack had killed 11 people. Legal experts said that in the eyes of many people, those on the boat were civilians, and the attack would be seen as extrajudicial killing by the U.S. forces. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Zimbabwean President Emerson Mnangagwa announced in Beijing on Thursday that they're upgrading their two countries' relations in all-weather community with a shared future. The announcement was made during Xi meeting in Mnangagwa, who is in China for commemoration marking 80th anniversary victory of the Chinese People War of resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. This year marks 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries, Xi said at the meeting. China will continue to affirm support in Zimbabwe in independently exploring a development path that suits the national conditions, oppose external interference and illegal sanctions, and work to safeguard the common interest of the two countries and Global South. Xi called on the two sides to take the opportunities of the alleviation of the bilateral relations to explore new cooperation concepts, expanding cooperation infrastructure, construction, mining, investment and trade and other fields, and promote efforts to upgrade bilateral cooperation. He also called on joint effort to jointly implement the Global Governance Initiative, build international organization for mediation, and strengthen cooperation in the Global South so to promote development and international order towards more just and reasonable direction. After 44 years of the development, Zimbabwe and China relations have become increasingly mature and resilient, Mnangagwa said. Zimbabwe stands ready to work with China to implement the relevant initiative and uphold international fairness and justice, he added. On our last report, Democratic Republic of Congo on Thursday declared a new outbreak of deadly Ebola virus after a case was confirmed in South Kasai province, saying there were now 28 suspected cases and 15 deaths. This will be a Central African country's 16th Ebola outbreak, the Health Ministry said in a statement. It also presence of the virus had been confirmed in 34-year-old pregnant woman who was hospitalized in August with symptoms of including a high fever and repeated vomiting. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a recap of the headlines. Nationals in Egypt commemorated 64th anniversary of Bahti Maskaram. Training for preschool teachers in Gashbaka region. Pentagon warns Venezuela as two military aircrafts fly near the U.S. warship. Chinese president and Zimbabwean president announced upgrading of their countries' relations. That wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching.